Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the best damn How I Met Your Mother podcast on the internet. I am your host, Josh, here with my best bud, John. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. I am doing what some people would say we are opening the forbidden door of How I Met Your Mother. Not to be mixed with the forbidden door that was, yesterday between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. No, it was pretty much just New Japan.
Well, was it? Okay.
But I mean, that is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong time. Tune into the same bat time on the same bat channel for that podcast.
Fair enough.
But we are here to talk about the best damn show ever. That's How I Met Your Mother. Some people would say it was Friends.
Friends?
Those people aren't chewing Big Red, and I have two words for you. Fuck off.
That's right. Because it definitely ain't Friends.
It ain't Friends. We're not here to talk about Ross and Rachel who were on a break. We're not here to make jokes about pivoting. We're here today to talk about one thing and one thing only. Moving day.
Now, the funny thing about that, they were moving a couch.
They were moving a couch.
So, I mean, I guess it ties in a little bit. Before we get into that, John, how you been, man? I feel like it's been forever.
It's been a week. I mean, I'm doing good. I can't complain.
We actually are doing another episode just a week later. It's crazy, right?
I know.
Can you believe it?
It's, not like 3-4 weeks or trying to cram it in somewhere. Notice the winter hat has went away. The summer hat is officially out. Summer weather is officially here, and balls are sweaty.
That is true. Sweaty balls.
I would like some more powder, Papa.
No.
She's gonna be like,
no powder for you.
No. But how about you? I noticed you're wearing a shirt to support your blog.
Well, I mean, really, it's just me wearing a Deadpool shirt.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't that technically still support your blog and shit? Like,
sure.
With the mouth.
The fact that you can only see the top, that works for me.
I mean, you could have just sold it and been like, yeah, I got T-shirts now available on our Patreon.
Merc. Yeah, I mean, I got ideas for shirts. I got ideas.
I mean, you've got shirts about Mercs. I've got Kurt Angle's gold medal. One of us is winning.
And it might be Charlie Sheen. I don't know.
I don't know if that dude's ever winning anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, maybe 10 years ago that guy was winning. And Britney Spears about 6 months ago winning. But you know who's winning right now?
Who's winning?
Nobody. Because America is taking a shit down the drains. But we are not going to talk about that.
That is why we are here, to take your mind away from things, even if it's just for an hour or so, to talk about the hilarity that ensues within the world of How I Met Your Mother.
Hey, yes. Josh.
Yes.
Put on the suit.
Put on the suit.
What suit? I'm not... The suit on your door. I'm not at the door.
That suit. I'm not there yet. We'll get there. All right, folks. If you read the description to this episode, we are talking about Season 2, Episode 18, Moving Day. That is right. We are getting close to the end of the season. Only like 5 episodes left, I believe.
I know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's getting real close. So this episode debuted March 19th of 2007, directed by the always wonderful Pamela Fryman, written by Maria Ferrari. Such a great fucking name, man. Maria Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, I dig it. This is her final episode on the series. She only wrote 3 total. This one, as well as Cupcake from season 1 and Atlantic City from earlier in this season. And she went on to become a producer and a writer on both Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon.
Interesting.
Yeah, having a long
So what
life
you're
there.
saying is she's never been on, or she's never written for anything I've seen.
If you haven't seen either of those shows, then yes, that is accurate.
I've seen bits and pieces.
But I mean, have you ever seen the Bill Engvall show?
I think maybe once or twice.
Or the Blue Comedy Show. I think that's what it was called.
I did.
The blue collar show.
The Blue Collar Tour.
Yeah, well, it was like a TV show, I guess. Whatever this was.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, apparently she worked on that before How I Met Your Mother, and then the Bill Engvall show after How I Met Your Mother, like right after.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then she did Big Bang, and she's on Young Sheldon, and she does some other show that I can't remember the name of. I don't know. But yeah, it's not important because we're talking about How I Met Your Mother. All right. The summary for this episode. Ted plans to move in with Robin, but Barney steals the moving truck until he can convince Ted not to move in. Meanwhile, Lily and Marshall experience living without Ted for the first time. All right. So, start things off. Future Ted, he's telling his kids about the story of when he and Robin decided to move in together. So we go over to the bar. Ted is setting up the plans with the gang to help him move out, saying that the moving truck will be there at 8 a.m., and they are not pleased. I don't blame them.
Like, I mean, I don't want to move somebody that early either.
Like at least give me like till 10. You know what I mean? 10's okay. I can do that. Barney asks what's going to happen with Ted's room because he's interested in taking it. He doesn't want to live there. He just wants to use it as like a bang pad.
It's a fortification room.
He's got a pretty banging apartment as it is, so I wouldn't want to live there either. If you have the apartment that Barney has, but yeah, he just wants to use it as a close to the bar bang pad, as I like to call it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, he goes into his reasoning, saying it takes 23 minutes from the bar to his place, and that there are too many things that can go wrong during this time. We get a little montage of instances when it didn't quite work out for him. We got 3 of them in particular. The first one, the girl falls asleep in the cab.
Yep.
Then we got the girl who her ex calls her and they like make up in the back of the cab.
Yep.
Yeah. And then a girl who's so drunk that she hangs herself out of the cab and flashes some cops who wind up pulling them over. And he's literally a minute and a half away from his apartment.
Oh, yeah. He's almost there on that one.
Yeah, it was so close. And she was ready to go. She had to go a little too far. He then tells them that he'll come in after they go to sleep. He'll leave before they wake up, leading Lily to kind of call him out for the fact that he'll be leaving it up to them to wake up and kick out this random girl. Which
I love his response to it. He's like, geez, Lily, this guy just took them home, pretty much confessed his undying love, snuck out in the middle of the night, and you can't even offer them a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you going to kick in for their coffee bill? Because, like...
Right? Like, he better be paying, something, Like, I don't know what Ted paid. Like, I don't know what his portion was, but Barney better be...
The other funny thing is, at that point, they're still using Shocky.
That's true. Yeah. That's if Ted didn't take it with him. We don't know.
Oh, no, they wouldn't be using Shocky because they've already done the Lily's apartment episode.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But even if they let's say they had been, just for argument's sake, I feel like Ted probably would have taken it. You know what I mean?
Fair. So if you had an extra room, how much in your house, in like you had the extra space, how much to rent your room out as a bang pad?
Well, I'd say at least half my rent.
How much is half the rent?
So about $400.
Hold on, let me see what I got here. Hold on. Hold on. For all those who think I'm bluffing here, like we're live on camera here. So let's see. There's 51, 52, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84. I'll be there in a few hours.
All right.
All right.
Done.
Someone get banged.
It's a done deal. You have to supply the lady, though. I don't have those.
Oh, never mind. You know what? I'm just going to.
There it is. Then, after the opening sequence, we pick up outside of the apartment building. That next morning, the gang, except for Barney, noticeably, is helping Ted pack up the moving truck. Ted has a box of colorful sweaters labeled Bill Cosby, and as soon as they did that, I was like, "Oh man, that didn't age very well."
Oh no! No, and that made me laugh too because I said the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
man, put that on a small list of jokes that probably don't age well.
Yeah, I was like, oh, poor Ted, man. He's gonna look back on that and be like, oh man, shouldn't have gone there. Probably got rid of all those colorful sweaters. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I'm sure the show writers were like, ooh.
Yeah, you know.
Remember that time he wrote that Bill Cosby joke and then he raped a bunch of women?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And now he's in jail. And that's all that matters. So as they're finishing up packing the truck, Marshall decides to give Ted one of the swords that is hanging on the wall. Robin picks on Ted a bit after Marshall says he'll need the sword by saying that her building is infested with dragons. I thought that was a really funny line. I don't know why.
I mean, it kind
made
of
me
is,
laugh
but
quite
at
a
the
bit.
same time, it's kind of like after what happens in the rest of this episode, it's kind of bitchy.
Oh yeah, no, what it is, it's her. It's like it's a foreshadow for us.
Yeah. Oh, well,
we're starting to see what's going to happen throughout this episode. This attitude of hers that
you know what I did look for though during the beginning part of this episode, and there was none of it there. Purple.
Nothing. Interesting. Well, maybe it's because it's everything that happens isn't actually bad because it's what they wanted in the end.
True. That is true.
Maybe you could kind of go that route with it.
Look at you getting all philosophical.
You know, I'm trying.
Yoda like.
And something else I noticed, which I thought was really funny because it kind of just happens in the background because it's while Marshall is talking. After Robin says that line and then Marshall starts talking, Ted like pretends to stab Robin with the sword.
No, I missed that.
Yeah, he like picks it up. He's like slowly like pretends to put it into her side, and like they give a little smile to each other, which I was like, that's a nice little just added thing for the background because, like I said, Marshall's talking, so most people are probably focused on him.
Yeah,
you know. And I caught that on my second time around. I was like, oh shit, that's clever. I like that. And Marshall and Lily, they're acting like emotional parents who are sending their kid off to like college or something for the first time on their own, which I thought was, because they're like the parents of the group.
They really are.
And then suddenly Barney races into the apartment with a yellow legal pad in hand, which I'll be honest, John, reminded me of you. Just rocking a yellow legal. Dude, you used to rock a yellow legal pad all the time. Go ahead, tell me you ain't got one. You tell me you ain't got a legal pad within arm's reach.
First off, I do, but it's pink now.
There it is, folks. There it is. Oh, he's always got a legal pad somewhere. Whether it be yellow,
that's not the only one.
whether it be yellow, whether it be white, pink, doesn't matter. It's there, ready to go.
Listen, I like legal pads.
Legal pad monthly or whatever. But yeah, so he runs in with this legal pad saying that Ted and Robin have to take a quiz that he found in a magazine before moving in together. He says it's called the "Are You Ready to Move In Together" quiz. And I mean, even if you believed for a second that like he wrote all these questions on this legal pad, it's pretty obvious right away from the first question that he's just making all these questions.
Oh yeah.
Which is
question number 1. Or did you not write the questions?
I didn't write the questions down.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I was going to say, oh, John's got the questions? Yes, let's hear them.
No, I think it was question number 1. Ted, do you want to move in with Robin? Are you sure you want to move in with Robin? And he's like, yes. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. The answer was no.
Yeah.
And then it was like, question number 2 was...
Do you think Robin, you could get somebody better than Ted or something like that?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, the answer was uncomfortable silence."
Yeah.
And question number 3 was, "Did I make this quiz up just to make a point about moving in together?" Yes. Yes, I did.
See, it's much better when you just try to pull it from your mind.
Well, I'll pull something from somewhere, but.
Hey, that is not this podcast, sir. We will get flagged on YouTube for that. But it may be so small they don't notice. What? Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see me pull something out of somewhere, tune into my podcast, Simply Saying with Jay, the Not Your Mama's podcast. Oh, and I'll go into extreme detail. I'll make it dirty. I'll spank the ketchup bottle.
He'll pull that ketchup bottle right out of the fridge. Right out of the fridge. He's going to grab that blue cheese.
Hope you like the taste of blue cheese.
So Barney is kind of freaking out about Ted moving in with Robin. It's funny because, like, just the night before, he was over here making plans for his room.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he played it off like he really wanted the room and shit, but...
My assumption here is that he didn't actually, like, until the moment that they're, like, moving his stuff into the truck, I don't think he actually believed that Ted was going to go through with it.
I mean, did any of us?
So he's just kind of talking, doing his thing, hey, I'll take Ted's room for a bang pad or whatever. And then the moment comes when he's actually moving out, and now he's freaking out.
Well, you know what Barney always says anyway, Ted's got great game. He's a horrible closer.
It's true. Yeah, he assumed it just wouldn't happen. And I mean, in the end, he's not totally wrong, but no. he does add a little help to that. So Barney kind of also blows up Robin's spot in this, which is something that kind of comes back later on, not in this episode specifically, but I mean it does, but it comes back in the show later on about her smoking.
Yes.
Yeah, we find out that she's a smoker. Ted finds out that she is a smoker.
I will say, though, one of my favorite Barney lines ever happens at this scene right here.
Okay.
It's where he's like, well, what are you going to do when Ted finds out you smoke? And Ted's like, she doesn't smoke. And she's like, ah. And then he's like, well, what are you going to do when you wake up one morning and Ted sees you without makeup? And she goes, I'm not wearing makeup right now. And he stops dead and goes, oh, wow, you're beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he says, "Oh my God, you're beautiful."
Yeah. But that is one of the most sincere Barney moments in this entire series, and by far, I will stand by this from episode 18 of season 2 to the rest of the show. That is one of my favorite Barney lines.
Nice, yeah,
and that's
a great line.
I love the way he says it because he's just like, "Oh wow, you're beautiful," and she's like.
Like he was legitimately like taken, like shocked and like,
oh yeah,
being honest in that moment, which most moments he's not all that honest. So yeah, it's a good moment for him. Absolutely. So then Barney pretends to help out by grabbing a box, taking it downstairs.
Yeah, but he also grabs the keys.
Yeah, you notice he does grab the keys, and in reality, he steals the truck, which it got me thinking, John. Just last episode, they reveal that he doesn't know how to drive.
Yes, and I thought that too.
Yeah,
the last episode's the Fiero episode, and in this one but you come to find out though, he didn't take it far.
He didn't, but I also wonder if he just had somebody downstairs, because like you see how he drove in in the last episode. I don't think he could have even backed that thing down an alleyway.
You find out Ranjit moved the truck later on.
See, that would have been hilarious because, like, it would have been perfect, I think, and it would have kept it would have kept the continuity. I think that would have been great.
Ranjit impersonation.
It's good.
Hello.
It's good. So, for my own headcanon, I think I am going to say Ranjit moved that truck into the alleyway.
Also, weird side note, but this came up the other day. It actually kind of fits into the show. So you know how the guy who plays Marshall's dad is the voice of Patrick on SpongeBob?
Yes.
So apparently the other day it comes up that apparently I do a really good Patrick Star impersonation.
Really?
Escalators, escalators, escalators!
Okay, folks, on a scale of 1 to 5, let us know how that Patrick impersonation was. Hop on a Twitter at Last Call HIMYM.
No, this is Patrick.
Oh, really quickly. This is a side tangent that has to do with the previous episode.
Okay.
You put out a game in the previous episode.
Okay.
Do you remember what the game was?
No.
You made this game up. I didn't. Like, you came up with it without my.
Oh knowledge. God! What did I do?
Where somebody had to tweet a certain something.
Oh, they did.
What do you remember what it was? Because somebody did it.
No, I don't remember.
You told them that they had to tweet out the number 37 to us.
Who did it?
It is Twitter. So their name on there is Pylon, but their handle is at MITL234. So
yeah,
thank you, Pylon.
Shout out to that person for giving us the 37.
That's right. You played the game and you got the shout out. Now maybe you'll get some followers from that. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I love it when people. So this is what I'm going to do. Remind me after this episode. I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to tweet at them and I'm going to tag all the How I Met Your Mother stuff.
Okay, there it is. All right, so now we're gonna hop back in after that fun little side tangent. We go back to the apartment. Marshall and Lily super excited to be living alone, and they decide to do all the things that they've ever wanted to do. John, starting with sitting around the apartment naked. We got some like a great. They did a great job of like strategically placing items in front of the camera, which I thought was really funny.
Oh yeah.
Now here's my question for you, because they didn't seem to like it too much. Have you just hung around your house naked?
I mean, 100%, yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to deny it. I'll shut my door and fucking kick around for hours without clothes on. I live by myself, man. Unless my kid's here, and if my kid's here, I got clothes on. But like right now, if it wasn't for this podcast, this shirt would be off, and I'd be in shorts only. Yeah,
before I had a kid, you know, me and my wife at the time, we would do that all the time.
Oh yeah,
hang around the house naked, you know, because fuck those clothes.
I mean, shit. Me and you lived together for years, and most of the time we hung around in just boxers. Like,
I mean, I still do that.
I mean, so do I. I'm just saying, though. I mean, you know, some people would be like, "Oh, that's not cool." You know, two grown men walking around the boxers. First off, if you're uncomfortable with that, fuck you. Second off, he's my brother, my best friend. Like, there's nobody I'm more comfortable with than this man right here. I would gladly take a bullet in my ass cheek for him.
What about two?
In my ass? Sure.
Yeah. All right.
if somebody threatens this moneymaker right here, though, my face, you're fucked, man. Sorry.
You could be like Boyle, just taking two to the ass. Can someone help me clean my buttholes?
So here's today's game, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, we're talking about the couch that Marshall and Lily are sitting on naked.
It's true.
Here's the game, and listen carefully. Without cheating, tweet us the color of the couch.
Ooh, I like it. First one to get it right gets a shout out.
Yeah.
At LAST CALL HIMYM. You can either just tweet it straight to us. You can tweet it on the episode. You can comment on the episode tweet.
Again,
however
the
it works.
Color of the couch that Marshall and Lily are sitting on right now, butt naked.
Boom.
Oh my god, that reminds me of that wrestling gimmick we were going to do, the Big Bucks. Buck naked and Buck.
What was the other Buck?
It was
Buck Wild.
Buck Wild.
Buck Wild and Buck naked. Yep.
The Big Bucks.
The Big Bucks. There it was. Never happened, unfortunately. It would have been hilarious, though.
It kind of would have been. So, yeah. And then I love, though, that at this point, Marshall goes, "It's cold in here." And she goes, "Oh, I could tell." And he goes, "Oh, listen to that coming from you, Pokey." And I was like, "Oh!"
Now, you want to know what I find interesting about this? Okay. Now, she says, "I can tell." And what instantly comes to your mind as to what she means by that?
Oh, a small package?
But it shouldn't, because Marshall has previously stated that cold provides a plumping effect for him.
That is true.
So, like, what she's saying isn't necessarily a contradiction, because she's just recognizing something that's telling her it's cold. So maybe he plumped up and she just recognizes that.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean?
You have surprisingly large hands. What do you expect? You've seen my penis.
Yes.
Fuck.
So then we head over to Robin's place. Ted tries calling Barney to return the truck, even threatening to call the cops on him. And then Ted mentions to Robin the possibility of putting his TV in their bedroom. Robin, not a fan of this idea at all. and she suggests putting it in storage. And this is where everything kind of starts for the episode with them. And I thought this was interesting because if you remember, in a later season, I think it's like season 8 because she's with Kevin. I think it's Kevin. She has a TV in her room because she likes to look at herself while they're getting it on.
Yep.
So I don't know what changed over the years, but something changed. She matured, and now she has a
fine wine.
And now she has TV. We do eventually get to see Ted's TV, by the way.
That is true. It's either that she matured like a fine wine, or her kink for wanting to watch herself fuck really overtook like the need to not have a TV.
Yeah, that's true.
And I honestly, now that I say that out loud, it's probably the fantasy of wanting to watch herself while.
I wonder if like maybe she was getting it on in the living room one night with somebody, and the TV happened to be on, and she really liked it, and so she's like, "Oh, I'm putting one of these in my room."
Now, imagine having one of those like wall-sized TVs like Barney has.
Yeah.
And like she's on that and she's watching herself. She's like, "Oh yeah, Mama likes."
Oh, that when her and Barney were together, she totally did that because he has that in his room.
Oh
remember?
Yeah, I know.
So she totally did that.
And Robin's the freaky one.
Oh yeah.
Like she probably pulled her gun out during sex and was like, "What's my name?"
She did want to do the old King Clancy. So I'm just saying. She gets a little weird. She likes to get a little weird.
Without taking like too far off the thing with this, glad you brought up the old King Clancy. Because for those of you who don't know, Josh and I, being such big fans of How I Met Your Mother, have like divulged into our own like beliefs and structured things outside of the show. So when we first watched that episode,
it's what people call headcanon.
Fair enough.
It's the canon that you keep in your head.
Well, yeah, but this isn't canon to the show. This was just for you and I.
Yeah, it's in your own head.
Well, no. But I just mean for us, though, not even for the show. This is just for me and you.
Oh, you mean like for our lives?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
Josh and I, we really loved the episode where they do the Canadian sex acts. So Josh came up with a couple way back in the day, and he calls one of them the Canadian clown shoe, which...
I honestly don't even remember what it was.
I don't remember either.
I don't know if we like went into detail about them or not, but I do remember the Canadian.
And then there's the I feel like there was a second one. I forgot it now.
There was. It was so long ago. But yeah, the Canadian clown shoe was the big one. Yep. Now I think I might have to try and figure out what it was.
I am now gonna take a further episode and I'm going to link it back to this, and I'm gonna create a sex position and call it the Jason Priestley.
Okay.
And it is going to involve Tim Hortons donuts and Timbits. Oh my god! I'm gonna use my penis to shoot Timbits and donuts and try to shoot it like a hoop.
But it's already like the Priestley is already about stuffing something into something else. So it already is like fashioned perfectly to move itself into the world of sex.
Well, I mean it is, but did you hear what I said?
I did.
I'm gonna use my penis to flip Timbits into a donut and try to shoot hoops. I'm gonna create the Priestley with my dick. That's
fair. Now, like, does she have the donut somewhere?
Yeah, on her mouth.
So it's on her mouth. Okay.
Like I'll pour it out a little bit more so it'll be a bigger hole, and I'll just like flip Timbits.
Catapult style. Bing. Well, if any of you decide to try that, let us know. At Last Call HIMYM. No pictures or videos though, please. I don't want to get in
without
trouble.
going into too much further detail. You know the special trick I can make that thing do. So I've already got an upper hand in this game.
That's true. That's true. And now we're
back.
And we're back. So it's pretty obvious to me that Ted and Robin, prior to moving in together, never discussed any of this stuff.
Which how does that happen?
I don't know, man. It's like I understand like the kind of like spur of the moment. Yeah, we should move in together. But then like why the hell haven't you talked about what about like where's my TV gonna go? Where's this gonna go? What about
like his dressers and all his clothes?
Right? And like we find out later on he took the microwave, so like where's that going to go? If she probably already has a microwave.
Probably. What about his box of Cosby sweaters?
Yeah, I mean, most of his stuff is gonna, if it's up to her, it's gonna wind up in storage. Most, if not all. Yeah, so it's like the fact that they didn't even bother to talk about it. That's a big red flag for this relationship.
100%.
Big red flag. Communication, guys, it's key. It's key. We've talked about that before. So then back at the apartment, Lily and Marshall are getting hot and heavy on the couch. Remember, tell us what color the couch is, guys.
The couch is what color?
Don't cheat. If I don't know how I'm going to check that, but don't cheat. It's honor system, guys. You have to be the honorable ones. So please
honorable.
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 Honorable. I feel like you're saying it wrong. Honorable.
Honorable. Honorable.
Do you remember what movie that's from?
Oh, is it got Will Ferrell in it? Is it a Will Ferrell movie? No. Then I'm not sure what it's from.
Sultan.
Oh, that's what it's from.
Honorable. Sultan. I think you're trying to say honorable.
Honorable. There we go. Dude, I got to watch that movie again. It's been so long.
Listen, all I'm going to say is people are going to listen to this podcast. Oh, I'm going to set you up here. See if you
I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail so hard.
Think my name and then think a popular clothing line from another okay, you'll get where I'm going with this. People are going to listen to this episode and be like, wow, these two are really fucked up tonight. What's wrong with them? And you're going to be like, Kills, baby!
Oh. I was like, your name and a popular clothing line. And I couldn't come up with anything.
All right, I'm going to try that again because you do it better than me anyway. People are going to listen to this episode and they're going to say, what the fuck is wrong with these two? And you're going to say,
pills, baby!
And we're going to leave that bullshit in there because why the fuck not?
Oh, my God. Whew. And every time I see that meme or that clip, it still blows my mind that that's from the series finale.
Dude, yeah.
I'm just saying. It's crazy stuff.
Oh, shit.
Crazy
What
stuff.
color was the couch, people?
What color was the couch? Anyways, so they're getting hot and heavy on the couch since Ted's not there anymore. And
Marshall's like, we should move this to the bedroom.
Yeah. And Lily's like, why? You know, we can do whatever. Yeah, we can do whatever we want. We can be as loud as we want.
Yeah. I love that she says that because we all know people have loud sex when nobody else is around.
Yeah.
I, for one, have been heard by my neighbors and it has been brought to my attention. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You were part of that conversation.
Oh, I do. I remember that.
So I love the fact that when they cut back to it, they're sitting on opposite ends of the couch.
Yeah, and they're like cross-armed because they're like mad at each other. It looks like.
And I love how she's like maybe yelling, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best wasn't the greatest idea. And he's like, well, at least I wasn't yelling, Ted's not here, Ted's not here. And she goes, well, at least what I was yelling was true. And I love Jason's reaction to instantly turn and go, well, that was hurtful.
Yeah. Plus, John, how the fuck would she know? According to her, she's only been with Marshall except for like a tiny bit of Scooter like peeking in there playing a little Just a Tip or whatever. So is she trying to insinuate that Scooter's the best? I'm just saying, if Marshall's not the best,
shit.
If Marshall's not the best, and the only other person she's come even close to anything with is Scooter, I mean, what am I supposed to think, John?
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear this first. Josh is firing shots on Lily, saying that Lily is claiming Marshall is second par to Scooter. Yep. Tell us at last call, HIMYM, what do you think? Marshall or Scooter?
I should put a poll up. Who's the better lover, Marshall or Scooter? Oh, that's gonna be a good poll, man.
Like I said, I still just love Jason's reaction to like not miss a beat and turn and go, well, that's just hurtful.
That's just
because it's that like out of character, like where he doesn't use that inflection in his voice like he usually does. He's just like, well, that was hurtful.
Yeah. Yeah, and he looks so sad. He looks so sad, man.
He did.
And I mean, it's
he's
not
making
cool,
notes
really.
over there. Josh was like, make a poll.
Yep, make a poll, guys. Got to do it. Otherwise, I'll forget. I totally will.
I can make a poll. Just put Allison Hannigan on the screen.
And we're back at the apartment. Lily and Marshall. Oh, wait, no. We already talked about that. Got me all mixed up. We head over to Robin's place. As you can tell, I keep calling it Robin's place because there's a reason. Ted brings his one box that he still has left. It's a box of pot lids. Because apparently he packed the lids separately from the pots.
Which I was like, who the fuck does that?
Yeah, I was like, okay, sure. Also, this was another. The whole situation is another thing that ties into them not talking to one another about all this beforehand. He royally fucks Marshall and Lily by taking like everything, leaving them with nothing, knowing that Robin has all that kind of stuff already. Like, did he really need to take the pots and pans? Like,
right? Or the towels?
The towels, yeah. Like,
couldn't have left them one.
Yeah, it's like, leave a couple towels, man. Like, the microwave, like, if it's not like they're gonna sell the microwave on you or something. It's gonna be there.
And that's the thing. Like, you and I have lived together, and twice actually we've lived together. Yep. And both times when we separate, like, there might be some stuff that you bought that you're like, look, I don't need the same, or do you need it? I do the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, Ted, you're a douche. We get
it. Yeah, we've known that though.
But so while Ted's talking to Robin about his box of stuff that she clearly has no space for, she suggests maybe putting it in and he goes, storage unit, and she's like, I was gonna say dumpster.
Yeah,
I was like, ow.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's kind of fucked up because it's like, even if you don't like want his stuff in your place, like, it's not like it's garbage. It's stuff that goes. It's the lids that go to his actual pots and pans, and you're just like, yeah, we should just throw it in the dumpster. It's like, what the fuck? Right? That's messed up. And then he brings up the sword, and she shoots that down real quick.
Yeah.
But and they're about to get into it, but before that happens, Ted gets a phone call.
Bling, bling, bling.
And I had a question. How does his phone still have battery? Because he literally said his phone was about to die and his charger was in.
Maybe it was at like 2%.
2%.
I know. I purposely went there. But yeah, but this is like, I love this interaction right here because he's like, hello, and he's like, Barney, give me my truck, and he's like, this isn't Barney. Put on the suit. He's like, what suit? The suit outside the door, or he's like, that suit. No, because he's like,
no, he tells the
door.
Yeah, open the door. And then he's suit. Yeah. I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah.
Well, tell me when you open the door. I open the door. There's a suit. That suit.
Yeah.
And then I love how like Ted's like, well, how am I supposed to find you in the bar if I don't know who you are? I look like Barney.
I'll be the guy who looks like Barney. But then we go to the bar, and Ted, he puts the suit on. He walks in. He's got sneakers on. Barney mocks him for that. And I found something out which was really cool. It was on the wiki page. They noted this. Apparently, in the pilot episode of Doogie Howser MD, Neil Patrick Harris wears a suit and sneakers.
No shit.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was like a reference to that in some way.
I feel like instead of doing the Ellen DeGeneres burn, then they should have did a Doogie Howser burn.
Yeah, but if it was only the pilot episode, it may not, because like Ellen did it all the time.
She did,
But
so I also feel like that's just picking on Ellen for her choice of being comfortable.
I guess, but I mean, she was a lot bigger at that time.
That is true. You're right.
So I feel like it made sense.
Well, take that one, Ellen D. Her initials are ED.
They are ED. And so Barney decides that in order for Ted to get the truck back, he is going to have to do a series of challenges.
Which Ted initially is like, no, and he's like,
Yeah.
would your stuff be happier at the bottom of the Hudson River
Hudson or the East River?
The East River.
And it makes me wonder, do you think he would have just like one by one thrown boxes in, or would he have drove the truck into the river?
Truck and all. It's Barney. Barney doesn't do small.
That's true.
Every night is legendary, bro.
That is
true. The night I drove Ted's truck of stuff into the Hudson River.
I mean, that would be legendary. You are right. And just I kind of would have liked to have seen it.
It's only legendary if your friends are there to see it.
So you're like, Ted, meet me here, and like Ted and them, they're like there standing, like, where is Barney? Then all of a sudden, the truck just comes racing down. You see Barney like barrel roll out the door, and it just.
I know this is going to be a parallel that's like wasted on a lot of our viewers, but it's going to be like the time that Joker beat the living shit out of Jason Todd and left him lay there to die, and made Batman think he could save him, but really he couldn't.
That's fair. And spoilers,
oh,
bro.
On. First off, this has been like 10 years. If people don't know Jason Todd died,
it's been like over 20 years. I think this was in the 80s. It might even be, or maybe the 90s. So it's at least been like 20 some odd years since they did this.
Fair.
It's been a while.
Spoilers.
So Barney, he wants Ted to have one last night of fun before ruining his life by moving in with Robin. And to start this, he tells Ted to get the number of some girl at the bar. Then we flash over to the apartment. Marshall and Lily are watching The World's Strongest Man with Lou Ferrigno.
The one where he pulls the bus with his teeth.
Did you ever watch that show?
Nope.
I didn't either. So, but I figured if anybody of the two of us watched it, it was going to be you. So, but I guess not.
That's typecasting me.
Dude, you love Lou Ferrigno. And I know
one time I've ever watched Lou Ferrigno outside of the Hulk.
I don't know, but you've talked about, and plus Don Reinhold. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, Don Reinhold, I grew up like down the street from him. He was one of my best friends.
So, I thought maybe you'd be into, World's Strongest Man thing. I don't know.
Fair. It was an aspiration of mine when I was like 6 for like a month.
I like it. I was like, did you try pulling things with a chain randomly around the house?
No, I tried to pick something up with my teeth and realized that I wasn't that strong, and I was like, oh, I give up.
Sounds like a 6-year-old to me. Yes, you're right. I think I would agree with that. But yes,
there was a bunch of us neighborhood kids. Don would set up in the middle of the park in Brockton. He would do free shows for kids.
Yeah.
Watch me blow up this hot water bottle. And he would blow it up so big that it would explode. And, he would lift a random kid up out of the crowd with his teeth. And he'd pull a car around the entire park with his, like, the belt around his waist. I was like, I want to be that strong when I grow up. And, I mean, in ways I am that strong. Emotionally, sometimes, no. But, I mean...
We're seeing some truth here, folks.
Objection! Overruled!
Hearsay.
I don't like where this is going. I hold myself in contempt. Mute me for 1 minute. I'm on a break.
Fair. I don't feel like muting you, though. I mean, you can do that if you want. So, like I said, they're watching World's Strongest Man. Marshall calls out for Ted, and then they realize that he's not there, John. And it makes them sad.
So sad.
Makes them sad. But then we go back over to the bar, and Ted is also watching World's Strongest Man. And he's using it to convince this girl to give Barney her number by betting on what will happen, because apparently she does not realize that it's a rerun.
Well,
that this show is really.
Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. This is a Barney move right here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That is an absolute play. Let me use this pre-taped television show to fucking trick somebody. It kind of reminds me of, and I know this is a loose basis, but 50 First Dates when they constantly watch the same football game over and over because it's the last thing she remembers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many times, though, can you watch that tape before that tape's going to fucking rip and shred? So, like, do they have a bunch of these tapes just in case?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Probably made a bunch of copies.
Maybe.
Yeah. But, Yeah, so she gives up the number, tells Barney not to call too early because she has church. And he instantly just like lets the number fall to the floor. He's like, nope, I'm out. As she walks out. Which, that sounds about right for Barney. You know, though you would almost think Barney's gonna give up a conquest.
Yeah,
so to speak, just because that
doesn't seem very Barney-ish to me, because I would have still.
Yeah.
Maybe
he figures like the pro or the cons outweigh the pros in that situation. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I thought it was funny personally.
I mean, it is. It's a really funny moment because like he's like,
yeah. So then when Barney tells Ted that it's time for his next challenge, Ted's like, no, because Robin is probably pissed that he's spending their first night together out with Barney. But in reality, she's at home in a bubble bath smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
This might be our last hurrah, little buddy.
I like the later one that they're going to flash to in a little bit.
Yeah. So then at the apartment, Lily goes to make some dinner. And this is where she realizes like all this stuff is gone. All the food. There's no food because apparently Ted is the one who always like bought all the food.
There's a frozen pizza.
There is a frozen pizza, but there is no microwave. But do they not have it? They have an oven, don't they?
Yeah, and that's what I didn't understand. They still have a stove.
Yeah, so like it's a frozen pizza, sure. But you could just cook it in the oven, guys. Like it's not, you're not going to starve to death. Anyways, Marshall then comes out of the bathroom, wet, covered in toilet paper, because there are no towels.
Yeah, but see, this one bugs me because, first off, why wouldn't you just, stand there and drip off for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's an inconvenience to have to stand there to drip off, but first off, you just wasted an entire roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
2, you just wasted an entire roll of toilet paper on your body.
And it comes back later on.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. But it's a dick move on Ted's part for taking the towels.
Well, yeah, like I said, you can at least leave 1 or 2.
Like, obviously, Lily and Marshall at least have, like, a towel, at least one towel each that they use. So, you know what I mean?
Here's the big question that doesn't get addressed in this episode, but it also doesn't get addressed for, like, a bunch of seasons.
Okay.
Did he take the toothbrush?
That's a good question. Did he take the toothbrush? I don't know.
Because as we know, that toothbrush was used by all 3 of them. And Robin. And yeah.
But he was only gone for like a day.
Yeah, if that.
So maybe they just don't brush their teeth every day. And so they didn't notice that you went one way or the other that the toothbrush was gone.
Maybe.
You guys have been sharing a toothbrush ever since college. Gross.
Yep. Isn't that when Robin's dating Kevin that comes out?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. And so then they have to admit to one another that they miss Ted.
They miss Ted,
but they don't want to interrupt his first night of living at Robin's. They don't want to like call him and be like, "Hey, we miss you guys."
No, but I love the story that Marshall tells here about the tree that grows around the other tree, and Lily's like, "So shouldn't there be 2 trees?" He's like, "It's 1 tree, Lily."
Yeah, we are 1 tree, Lily. And so then we flash over to the laser tag place. Ted and Barney are there playing laser tag. And it got me thinking, I think this is the one and only time we see Ted play laser tag. I don't know if I remember him playing it any other times.
I don't think we ever see him play laser tag ever again, but I know he at least references.
Yeah, they've mentioned it, but I don't think we've ever seen him. I think this is the only time that we see it. And then it got me thinking, we never see like Marshall or Lily play either.
No.
Like it's just
only
Robin.
Ever see Ted play once and Robin.
Yeah. And then like Nora later on.
Yeah, and Robin's dad.
Oh yeah, Robin's dad. That's right. A couple random ones like that. But yeah, I'd never really thought about it until this episode. I was like, because he seems so out of place to me. And that's probably just because I'm so used to like just seeing Barney there, and this is the only time you see him.
Well, did you also notice that the setup that they had for laser tag, it's not really developed yet. It's like very basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple cans to hide behind. There was some stuff on the wall, but it wasn't like some of the stuff later on where like it's like neons and bright, and it's there's the thing to hang from the ceiling. Like it gets way more intricate a few years from now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Barney like was putting money into the laser tag plays. But here, get this thing. I heard about this on the internet.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, he's got the money, so
they got the stuff.
Barney, what do you do for a living?
Please.
So then, while they're playing, Ted says he needs to call Robin. And Barney gets upset by this, and as he leaves to go enjoy his onion rings at the snack place, whatever whatever he calls it. He's like, I'm gonna go enjoy my onion rings Han style. Solo. Which I was like, I loved it. It's such a cheesy joke, but I loved it.
Well, I love that Ted, being a huge Star Wars fan, didn't get it.
Yeah. It's like Han style. As soon as he said it, I was like, Solo, like before he even said it. So I was like, come on, Ted. Get with
it. I'm about to go enjoy my onion rings Han style. Frozen and carbonite.
Frozen. You just like to eat a frozen, just like a not thawed frozen onion ring. Like, I love the crunch.
Just shit my tooth.
Oh, damn. So Ted then he does wind up calling Robin to tell her not to wait up. But she's fine with it. And this is, I assume, the one that you said you liked better.
Yeah, because there's a reason. Because I love how she's like, okay, have fun, and she hangs up and she goes like, click. She's like, hey, yeah, so I wanted to cancel that magazine subscription.
Yeah, to Guns and Ammo.
I love the magazine. They published 3 of my letters.
Yeah,
and then she's like,
Guns and Ammo.
Yeah. A free hand grenade phone. Let me give you my work address.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I want to pay attention to her apartment/work area and see if the hand grenade phone is at some point showing.
That's a great plan, John. Keep track of that. Write that in your legal pad. Got to keep track, man. Got to keep you are on hand grenade phone watch now. So then we go back over to the apartment. Marshall comes in with several bags.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he's got everything that they need. He has provided.
Provode?
Yeah.
I like how he's like, provode? Provided.
Yeah. Provided. And then Lily yells out from the bathroom, can you throw me the toilet paper? To which he responds, I'll be back in a few. I don't remember exactly what he says. It's like, I'll be right back on here or something like that.
So here's my question to you. Do you sit there and wait, or do you just like jump in the shower and clean yourself up?
I mean, depending on how long I was already sitting there, I might just hop in the shower.
Like you just get fucking like dead leg.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like I might just hop in the shower and be like, screw it. I just rinse it all down. But yeah, because he used up all the toilet paper to dry himself off. Now there's no toilet paper for her, which I thought was great. A great little tie back in, a little callback, as they like to say, a little callback. So yeah, he runs off to go get some toilet paper. Then we head over to the bar. Ted admits that he had a good time, spending time out with Barney and everything. Even called Barney a good friend. But when he asks for the location of the truck, Barney still says no.
Yep.
And this is where we get one of my favorite lines from the show, is where Ted calls him Admiral Jerk of the British Royal Douchery. I used to put that as my AIM like away message. Yeah, buddy.
That's great.
Admiral.
AIM was a messaging device that you could use on your computer to text people back in the day.
Yes. It's kind of like what you kids do with Facebook Messenger nowadays, or WhatsApp. One of those things. Exactly.
No, WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you really not know what WhatsApp is?
No, WhatsApp.
It's a messaging service. Called WhatsApp. That's the name of it.
I use Kick and that other one that. No, I use Kick.
That other one, I don't know. Yeah, and I like Facebook Messenger. I have a few random ones that I use, but most of them are very specific, like Slack and Discord and stuff like that. But
fair.
But yeah, AIM, man, that was where it was at back in the day.
AIM was the shit.
AOL Instant Messenger. Yes.
Woo!
These kids are like, you guys are old.
We are so old. We're those dudes who stole your granddad's clothes. We look incredible.
They're like, that song hasn't been in for years, guys. It wasn't even in when it was in. Guys.
Yeah, well, yours mom smells like R. Kelly sheets. Piss.
Boom. Denied. Anyway, so Barney then calls him out for spending his first night with Robin, or his first night living with Robin, out with him instead of being there. And then he also calls out Ted because he referred to it as Robin's
apartment. Yep.
Instead of like theirs or home or any of those, showing that he doesn't really feel at home there. He doesn't really want to move in there. He doesn't feel comfortable enough to consider it his place. So Ted storms off in a huff, telling Barney that he can keep his stuff. And Barney, he knows the truth. You can tell. You can see it on his face. He knows. Snickering. Yeah. So Ted arrives back at Robin's place, quickly realizes that he'll never feel welcome at this place because Robin is so used to having like her things her way.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, she's unwilling to change that. But as they're talking about all of this, Ted realizes where the truck is.
Yep.
And he races out.
But doesn't even say goodbye to Robin. Just gets up and walks out.
I think it's because he's kind of mad. He's not, you know what I mean? Because they're in the middle of this kind of a fight. And he's just like, I know where my stuff is. And he's just like, he's like, I'm out. I can't deal with this. I'm going to go get my stuff. And we flash to the bar. Barney's macking on this girl.
Yep.
And then he brings her out back behind the bar. And there's the truck. He opens it. What I think is funny is like she's all like freaked out because like
she's like kidnapped.
Yeah, she's like you live in an alleyway, and then like he goes to open the truck. She's like, it's like I've seen Silence of the Lambs. Which I thought was a great reference. But he opens up the back of the truck and he has decked this thing out as like a mini apartment / bang pad.
And this is one of the things that bothers me, okay? So when they're packing the apartment originally, the beginning of the episode, that thing is filled all the way to the door pretty much.
Yeah.
When he opens that door, he has got that thing turned into a little apartment. What happened to all Ted's stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Where are all his boxes? Where are his Cosby sweaters?
Right?
I don't know, man.
I know I don't typically do this all that often on this podcast. I'm going to dog out here for a second. Can we talk about how fucking hot that girl is that Barney's macking on?
No, she is. And I've seen her in something else. I can't remember what it was. But I've seen her. And so there was another show that I used to watch that she was on. But
I was like, damn, Barney, I said, that girl in that blue dress, man, I'd want a bango too.
Yeah. And I got to say, man, he set up a nice little pad there.
Oh, yeah. Truck. That was a clever little setup.
And what I think is hilarious is you see Ted's little TV. It's like a little 13-incher with like a built-in VHS player or something, I think. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know if DVDs were out at that time.
No, I think it was still VHS. Well, yeah, DVDs were out, but here's the other big thing, though, that kind of gets me. He's got the lava lamp turned on and lights going. Yeah. Where did he get electricity?
I mean, some trucks have power, have outlets.
That is true.
But like you have to have like the car, I think the battery power on or something. I don't know. So maybe he's like running it from like an extension cord from inside the bar. We don't know.
That's what I think. Like I was like, well, maybe he's just stealing it from the bar, but
but yeah, man, he's got it all set up. He closes, like they start making out. He closes the door, and then all of a sudden, the truck starts up begins driving. And she's freaking out. She's like, I knew it. I knew it. Let me go.
And then we flash back to Ted talking to Robin.
No, he gets a call first.
Oh, yeah. He calls Barney first.
Yeah, he does the same thing. He's like, this isn't Ted. He does he does that whole thing. And I thought that was great. He's just driving off with them, essentially kidnapping them, which I think is pretty
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And then, like you said, they flash back to Ted and Robin sitting on the stoop outside of her apartment. Ted is telling her that he dropped off the girl at her home and then took Barney to a bar near his apartment, which is apparently something that Barney never thought to do. To just go to a bar.
There's a lot of small things that he doesn't think about in shows. Like, there's the one episode where he's trying to mac on a girl, and I think it's Robin who's like, why don't you use the mirror? And he's like, use the mirror. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, the one behind the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because, doesn't he hits on Robin, twice or something in the same night? Because he couldn't see who it was. Just use the mirror, guy. Come on. And so Robin tells Ted that they should get him unpacked. And then we go up to the apartment. Marshall and Lily, they come to the realization that they need Ted. Marshall suggests that they're going to have to marry Ted.
Yeah.
So
I love Lily's like, my dad's not going to pay for that wedding.
Yeah. So you thought that line was funny. But we find out later on, her dad's not even invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
And there's no way that he could afford a wedding.
No, and I was thinking that too. I was like, we know Mickey later on. There's no way he paid for that wedding at all. And Lily doesn't talk to her dad.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was obviously they hadn't decided on that yet.
Yeah.
Because that's Slapsgiving 2. And Slapsgiving hasn't even happened yet, the first one.
No, yeah.
And so that's at least season 4 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a couple seasons away, so they hadn't even come up with the Mickey storyline yet. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, no dad for her in this wedding. Sorry, Lil. So then Ted walks back in to the apartment, telling them that he and Robin are no longer moving in together. We flash back to the stoop where Ted and Robin agree that they shouldn't move in together because they're in a good place. They like where they are right now, and they don't want to mess that up.
True story.
And then they climb into the back of the truck and prepare to bone.
Yep.
And so Marshall and Lily just hug Ted for a little while. He gets a little uncomfortable.
I got uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then and he's like, guys, Robin is she's waiting down in the truck, which I thought was great. And then the episode ends at the bar with Barney doing a version of David Letterman's top 10 bit from the Late Show. He does top 10 things I would have called my truck if Ted hadn't been a jerk and given it back, which, it was a rental. And I did, for this, I did write down all 10.
Rattle them off.
Number 10, the Winnebago. Number 9, the pickup truck. Number 8, the Ford Explorer. Number 7, the You Scream truck. Get it? You Scream truck. Number 6, Feels on Wheels. Number 5, the Ride Her truck. Number 4, the 18 Squealer. And he does this little laugh. It's like, which I think is I think that's David Letterman's laugh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a.
But it cracked me up hearing Neil do it. I don't know why. It was hilarious to me. Number 3, the Escalade. Number 2, the Slamboni.
And number 1.
Number 1, John. Do you remember what it is?
69 Chevy.
That's right. Da-da-da. And he throws the card and it smashes into some drinks on a waitress's tray. And I was bummed it wasn't Wendy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, man, it wasn't Wendy, though.
Yeah. So, but that's the episode. We got season 2, episode 18 of How I Met Your Mother, Moving Day. John, what are your final overall thoughts on the episode?
Listen, I know this is a general thing, and I haven't said it in a long time. It's a good episode, but for me, I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not a top tier. I didn't dislike it. I mean, I don't know if there's actually
and that's it. Like, I feel bad because I never hate an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
I don't think there is one for me personally.
And well, no, that's it though. There are some of them though where I watch them and I'm like, because I was thinking about this like the last time I recorded, I was like, oh, it's a good episode, and I'm like, oh, I always say it's a good episode though, because I don't hate any episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like this one here, I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it had some good moments. It didn't like scream out anything awesome.
No,
you know what I mean.
No, it definitely wasn't one of those ones that flew by either, because it was that funny the whole time.
Yeah,
but like I said, this one has my favorite Barney line of all time. Like, oh wow, you're beautiful.
Yeah, it has one of my favorite lines with the British royal douchery thing. Like, so like there is some really good stuff in it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's a decent episode, but it's just not one of those ones where I'm like, if I'm gonna watch an episode out of like the 9 season, like this isn't one of the ones I'm picking.
That's true. Plus, you kind of know it's leading toward like another breakup. Like know that's it's leading toward that.
Sadly.
And so because that's going to happen it's like at the end of the season. It's like right before the end of the season, I think, that it happens.
Yep.
And so we know that is at least coming. So, I don't know. It might stain it a little bit. I don't know, but there it is. But yes, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit down in your seats. Mothers, lock up your sons. Dads, lock up your daughters. It's time for that time where Josh is going to put up an image and we're going to say, Barney's blog. Suit up, bitches.
That's right. Don't forget,
I really
John,
drew that one out there. But...
lock up your Mil Swankas.
Lock up your Mil Swankas.
All right. So for this week's edition of Barney's blog, it is titled Stinson's Instant Love Nest. This is titled March 20th of 2007. It says Manhattan is an isle of wonder, an isle of merriment, and an isle brimming with some of the most gorgeous women in the world. Unfortunately, it is also an island of congestion. And while any venue can prove a fruitful and fertile pickup spot, the snail-like pace of traffic presents an unwelcome impediment to closing the deal. Too many young women have been denied their wildest fantasies, struck down by the way to bliss, by the bifurcated spear of inebriation and sleepiness. What can I say? Traffic's a bitch. But as usual, I have devised a solution. Stinson's Instant Love Nest. Light and portable, you can assemble your love nest nearly anywhere. Try it in the alley behind your favorite bar, on a rooftop, or in a doctor's waiting room. And never again worry about missing an opportunity to get to know someone a little better. And I got a couple of images here to go along with the blog. First up, we've got essentially it's the contents of the Stinson Instant Love Nest. 6 pieces of cardboard. Now, since I haven't shown the second panel yet, just so you know, these have to be like panels of cardboard that are taller than you.
Oh, shit.
So it's big cardboard. Roll of tape, a bottle of I'm assuming alcohol, 4 bottles specifically, a bed, and what I'm assuming is a woman. From this crude drawing that I'm assuming Barney made, and then this drawing here. It's 4 panels here. We got the first panel where he's taping the cardboard together. The second one, he built this little room and put a bed in it. Third one, he's putting his, what I'm assuming is wine because he's putting it on ice. And then the fourth one, it's in between a couple of bars in an alleyway.
Maybe it's supposed to be champagne.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. It says, enter mobile love nest, which I'm going to say this right now, John. I feel like I would be more creeped out by that than the truck. Here's a little cardboard hut in the middle in an alleyway. Come in, and we're going to do things.
Listen, all I'm going to say is, though, we could solve a lot of homeless people's problems with a little hut like that.
Little hut like that? Sure. I don't know how long it would last in, with the rain and stuff, but, temporary. Sure.
Is that the whole blog, though?
That's the whole thing, man. That. Yes.
See, that right there is a fucking classic blog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I love that.
Nice and simple. Couple diagrams.
Before we get into the downtrot of everything from the episode and like wrap everything up fully, I forgot that we brought up something else last week that you were going to check into that me and you talked about off air. We didn't address it this week.
Okay.
The subway. You were going to talk. You said during the last episode we want to know if there was a mass transit problem in 2006.
Oh yes. And I think I had tweeted something out about it. But hold on, let me go.
Oh, you tweeted it.
Yeah, so
I must have missed the tweet.
But for those, because I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't follow us on the Twitter, but you should at Last Call HIMYM. And so if you aren't following on the Twitter page, so I did do some research, and as we had talked about in the previous episode, we wanted to know if there was a New York City transit strike around that time, and there was one in from December 20th. To December 22nd of 2005.
Yep.
So just probably like a year and a half before that episode, like the time frame of that episode. So that is the time frame. Those somewhere in those 3 days is when Ted tried to teach Barney how to drive.
Yep.
So I thought that was really cool that they used something that actually happened and made it real. I thought that was really cool.
I mean, it was. I thought that was really cool, too. And I was like, oh, yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
So now that all that's out of the way, and we've done this hour and a half recording for you, the fans,
yes,
Josh,
sir.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR, as well as at Movie Blog Merc. I'm most active over there. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc with a Movie Blog. If you are watching this on YouTube, this is on the Merc with a Movie Blog YouTube channel. So please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click that little bell so you always know when I drop something new. If you're listening on any of the various podcasting platforms, whether it be Anchor, Apple, Spotify, any of those, please. If you're on Anchor, you can leave us a voice message, which would be great. We'll play it on air and talk about it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a review or anything in a while.
Yeah, and if you're on Apple or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. We will read it out on air as well. So please be sure to do that. Follow us, subscribe to us, all that stuff. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM, as well as Instagram. Just recently put that up, same handle at Last Call HIMYM. And we have a Patreon, guys. So hop on over there. You get early access to the pod. Normally it drops on Mondays. You'd get it on Fridays in that case.
And you possibly get a Q&A with us.
Yeah, Q&A depending on the tier you get. Also, you get exclusive content like our Last Call After Hours show. It's strictly over there. So be sure to sign up for that as well. John, where can they find you?
Well, before I tell them where they can find me,
ooh,
I just want to add that if you're already on this channel on YouTube and you're already on the Merc with the Movie Blog page, go down through some of the old videos. Check it out. Josh has a lot of great fucking content on this channel that you need to check out. He does stuff about The Mandalorian. He does movie trailer reviews. I know he's got. I mean, what all do you cover?
We have a show that covers all the stuff in the MCU, which is called Oh What a Marvel. Yeah, we do the Mandoverse, so it's Mandalorian, Boba Fett. It'll cover Ahsoka when that comes out. Trailer reviews. I've done a few movie reviews on there, and this show is up there as well. So, and I'm hoping to kind of do some more stuff. It's been kind of quiet for a little bit, but I plan to get some more content up and rolling soon.
Listen, you guys need to go check out his old content. He's got some amazing stuff back there. Every once in a while, I pop up for a trailer review. It's true. I really support what he does. And also, I'm going to plug this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh has a GoFundMe up right now. Josh is on some struggling times right now. Hopefully, if he remembers, he'll drop a link in the description down below. If you can't donate to help him out
it's also on the Twitter page as well.
It's also on the Twitter page. If you cannot make a donation right now, share it at least. I mean, get his story out there. He's got a little one. He needs some help right now. I mean, we've all been there. So I love my brother. I don't want to see him homeless with his kid. Please, please, please. We love what we do for you guys. This is one of those few times where I'm going to say help us out, but it's mostly him, not me. I'm I'm not suffering at this point. He is. So please reach out with your love and your generosity. Give the man a hand. I think he freaking deserves that.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
For me, find me on Twitter. It's simply saying J1. I'm going to be the person pissing off everybody because I'm going to stop holding back and start telling people what I really think. And I've even started writing some movie/trailer reviews of my own, which Josh is going to start posting some here on the movie, the Merc with the Movie blog page, because he wants to see me give what we call almost like an honest trailer review, but it's not really honest. It's just me tearing shit apart. like, whoa, watch Wizard of Oz.
It's honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know how I get honest. Like, oh, watch Wizard of Oz, where a girl murders a bunch of people to try to get home.
Yeah, hey, it's good times.
Also, I have a blog if you wanna learn about my disappointing life, and I don't need to have a threesome to disappoint two people at one time. I'll just go see my parents. Oh wait, my mom's dead.
Bam, that got dark. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Off the Ropes. Or no, it has not. It has been Last Call.
It has been Last Call with McLaren's, the best damn How I Met Your Mother podcast. I am Josh. This is John. And that's all I got for him, man. What do you got?
You don't have to go home, but stop listening here.
That's fair. Take care, everyone.